Started the timer. Here we go.
Hi.
We're in it to win it.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Phi.
I'm Sara.
And
We're
this
cute
is our
as hell.
podcast.
We're cute as hell.
Yeah.
Just like it.
So if you were here last week, you would know that we planned on talking about something called...
We left you hanging.
Yeah, we really did. And
like a dingleberry.
we're not even the slightest bit sorry.
No. You came back, didn't you?
Yeah, you came back, so it was worth it.
The plan worked.
It is Rejection Sensitive Dysphoria.
It's just Rejection Sensitive Dysphoria.
Well, it shows you how much I know.
I'm rejecting you right now. See, what happens is when you have this and someone corrects you, you can feel, what it said, like physical pain.
Yeah.
Physical pain. Intense physical pain.
And what brought this all up is there was a discussion that we had with a couple of other people. And
at work.
Yeah. And I was looking outside and I was like, that is definitely something. And I was wrong about it.
I said, that's an excavator.
Yeah.
That was hard. That's an excavator. And she's like, no, that's a tractor. We were both technically right, though.
Both technically
right. But
it was an excavator.
Rejection sensitive dysphoria is a tricky maiden.
And I think I would have had an easier time if it was just you that had said it.
Right.
Because I can take rejection
There's just
from
someone
you.
else involved.
And whenever that happened, I literally felt like all the feelings I felt whenever as a kid I was being told that I was lying when I wasn't.
It's like it washes over you.
Yeah.
It feels like all of those times at one time.
Yeah. And it's a lot.
I was like, excuse me, friend, have you heard of rejection sensitive dysphoria? Because I got it. And actually, after talking to a couple of our coworkers, I think a lot of us have it. I think it might be a thing that women have developed because we have been told we're wrong all the freaking time.
Yeah. And it hurts for someone to tell you that you're wrong, even if you are.
It does
hurt.
I really want to try to help or to tell people in a way, because I'm about to be in a position where I have to tell people if they're wrong. But I want to tell them in a way that it's like, you're not the first person that's ever gotten this wrong. I've gotten it wrong. We've all gotten it wrong. There is a correct way, and we all just need to know the right way. And you're not bad.
Yeah.
And really, you're not wrong. It's just, this is the thing we've agreed upon in this situation, so this is what we have to do. You know, you weren't wrong in saying that was a tractor. It was a tractor, but it was also an excavator, which is, you know what, we're going to get some people. You know what, whatever you guys think, we're just trying to not feel rejected here.
Yeah.
We just want to feel accepted. The opposite of rejection is acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, we're all good. We've all been, why was everybody so mean to us when we were little?
I don't know.
I get that a lot. I was sensitive. I was a sensitive little baby. Still am. And I don't think anything's wrong with that.
I don't think so either. And I think that just hasn't been nurtured.
Yeah.
You know? Because I think it's okay to be sensitive.
Yeah.
And I really wish a lot more people were sensitive so that they could understand it.
Very much so. I do have sometimes a hard time being, like, joking around.
Yeah.
You know, especially if I'm in that mode. If I've perceived, and that's the thing about rejection sensitive dysphoria, is it's perceived rejection. It's not literal rejection. Yeah. It is me feeling like, because I think we talked about, there was a misunderstanding the other day. We won't like go into details about it, but like I was just in that mindset and there was nothing you could have done. I could tell you were trying to get me out of it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. I just wanted to just work and like be in my little bubble, you know?
Yeah.
It happens a lot whenever I get overwhelmed. Like when there's a lot of sounds, that job itself is just overwhelming.
Yeah.
Not drinking espresso has helped me not feel overwhelmed.
That is really good.
Yeah,
everybody
take a drink of water. Yeah.
That's not the sound I was expecting.
Yeah, but it was abrupt.
That was a clink, if you couldn't tell.
It's this little cup's too thick.
I think that's the cutest little cup ever. For those of you who don't know, because you can't see, it's
from a Mexican restaurant, or from somewhere do you see it? I looked it up. It
says Maria's de Mexico.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but it's cute as heck. And I found all of my cups at the Goodwill or something like that. Shout out to the Goodwill. We were going to make an abrupt shift to a different topic. Do you remember what it is?
Yeah, bidets.
Bidets.
And this all started because I went into Sarah's bathroom. There's a bidet in there. I've used a bidet another time. However, this was one of the most refreshing experiences I think I've ever had.
Europeans already know.
Yeah.
They just be doing that.
Shout out to Europe.
Bedempt. No,
that's
not,
funny.
I just wanted to say that, but I also shout out to Europe. They're doing things. What happened is I had one years ago. I got one during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. I ordered it to my house because everybody was ordering things, and I felt like I needed to. Mm-hmm. Now I don't order things online. However, I really needed a bidet again because I gave that to my dad. My butt is sad. And then about 2 weeks ago, I went to Dragon King's Daughter. Best sushi ever. If you've never been, it's in New Albany and Louisville. I went to the New Albany location, which is precious. And their bidet is like a spaceship. Their toilet is smooth on all sides, I guess for easy cleaning. Mm-hmm. It's huge. The seat is heated.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to tell you, that thing's probably like $3,000. I don't know. That could be way off.
No, I'm thinking it's got to be like 5.
It's got a freaking remote control on the side. Mm-hmm. And I went home and I was like, I got to get this again. The local Home Depot had one kind and it was like less than $60. And you just plug it right in. Mm-hmm. Set it and forget it. And then, but it is cold water, I will say that. But I think it's refreshing.
I was expecting it to feel not refreshing at first. Yes. I was expecting it to feel like a blast. But then it happened and I was like, huh. Yeah. I could get used to that.
If you ease into it. But remember, I said, you turn it too far and you're like, holy crap.
Oh yeah. I mean, I went very slow. Very slow.
If you go too quick, it's gonna blast you. Right in your brown eye.
It's gonna get you to the sink.
I love it. It's intense.
Yeah.
And I made these little butt wipes, but I don't know how to clean them now. Someone gifted us brown towels and I was like, I know what to do with this. And I took them to the library and that was my sewing project. They're teaching me how to sew at the library. Shout out to the library. All the libraries.
Yes.
Love them.
Libraries are good.
We need them.
Yes.
We need more of them. I could talk about bidets for the rest of my life.
Give me 10 minutes.
Well, let me just say, I did an experiment. Mm-hmm. I took a number 2 and just blasted it. And there was no remnants afterward. I wiped.
Wow.
I was like, Jesus, this is my new life. And I don't mean to say that, I don't mean to feel better than anybody. But that's all I'm going to say. Get a bidet.
But.
That is almost a full freaking rhyme there. I don't know what to say. Get a bidet.
Can you say it 3 times fast?
I'm going to say, get a bidet. I don't know what to say, get a bidet. I don't know what to say, get a bidet. I can.
Wow.
I think that this is going to evolve into a rap channel.
Yeah, honestly, I talked about today what my next album was going to be named, and I don't remember it.
I do.
I don't have any albums.
I do remember it. It was, because someone asked for a grande latte, hot, no flavor.
And I said that's going to be my next album, hot, no flavor.
I'm going to hold you to it, and I think that we're going to make that happen. I can't wait.
With your ukulele and my kalimba, we're unstoppable.
How do you spell kalimba?
Kalimba.
Holy shit!
I told you.
We're taking this on the road.
Can
you bleep out where I just said the S word?
You didn't say the S word. You said the G word.
Holy shit!
Oh, I said hell in the last one.
Don't
listen to what we just said.
Don't be like us. It's really unattractive. I mean, that's a gross thing to say.
Yeah, it is.
Sounds like something my grandmother would say.
But honestly, they're just words. They're just words.
They are just words.
And I think we're allowed to use words, you know?
Alright.
Words are words.
I just don't want to have to, like, make our podcast 18 or older, but...
Oh.
That could happen. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just, like, perusing my notes
I feel like we have a wider array of people that are 18 or older.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, not to say that if you're under 18, maybe not like 12.
We still like you.
Yeah, we still like you.
Being 12 is hard.
It is.
I think that's when it all started for me. Like, I don't want to discourage you 12-year-olds, but after that, I was like, this is hard.
It gets easier. That's what I want to say. Because as a 12-year-old, honestly, I got my period at 9.
Ooh.
And, like, I didn't know anything about it.
I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
What was that?
I was in 5th grade.
I was, like, one of the last people.
Yeah. But, at least you knew about it, you know? Like,
sort of. Not enough.
Yeah.
Not nearly enough.
I remember, like, coming back to the classroom and being like, something happened.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm having a baby.
Yeah.
And I'm 9.
Yeah. And, like, I hadn't had that talk. That talk wasn't with me yet. And I was like,
I, like, conceptually knew what it was. Mm-hmm. But then, like, I remember, like, every time I'm sorry, cover your ears if this is awkward. Every time I got blood on the pad, I would throw the pad away.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you had to simmer in a little bit.
Yeah. You could let it sit for a couple hours.
That's disgusting.
It is.
I didn't. I used so many and they were like, something's wrong here. And I'm like, just.
But that's...
I'm really into, like, the red huts. Like, just free bleeding in a red hut.
I would be okay with that.
Do you guys know about this? I know you can't answer us, but, like, that's a thing. People, they used to save the blood and put it on their garden because it was, like, fertile.
Oh, wow.
That had to look insane. And what were they catching it with? Anyway, we should probably, I don't know.
No, it's okay. First off, I want to say menstrual cups are really amazing. I switched over to them. I switched over to them. Definitely get the type A if you haven't had a kid. Get the type B if you've had a kid.
Okay.
Type B is specific for people that have had children vaginally.
I just know that I couldn't get it out at first, and I was like really freaking out.
And it can be really, really overwhelming because nobody tells you how to use them.
Right? Nobody told me how to use a tampon as a child.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And so, like, I mean, I could get into that, but like, I'll do that on my own.
Yeah, we're not.
You know,
she's gonna do that on her own.
Yeah,
YouTube
I'm gonna
channel.
do that on my own.
So you can look out for
Shout
that.
out to Phi of the Future.
Yeah,
that's my YouTube channel.
Can you spell it for him?
PIHOFTHEFUTURE.
FU. We will
all one
put
word
that in the description box below so that you can check that out. I have always said I have a face for radio, and here we are. My granddad was a ham radio operator. Maybe on one of the episodes I'll get out this tape I found. I found a cassette tape of this man explaining how he got into ham radio. Just this random man that I don't know. I know he didn't know my grandfather. Mm-hmm. I don't know where this tape came from, but it feels like maybe it's that guy from the future, you know?
Could be.
Phi from the future. You know, time doesn't work the way we think it does, you know? It's not linear.
Let's dive into that. Let's dive into that.
I mean, I can't give you any other... I don't have any solid evidence or points, but I do know that time is not linear, like we think it is. You know, have you ever heard of generational trauma? Right?
Yeah.
I've been told, I've heard that if you heal the trauma in you that was handed down, generational, that you heal your entire ancestral line.
Really?
Yeah, because it doesn't work the way that we think it does. And my grandmother, on her deathbed, said to me, she said, I believe you have it figured out. And I was like, what? You know, I still don't know. I don't know. But maybe I do. Maybe
you probably do.
I think what it was, I think the answer is to love yourself, to make yourself happy. Everyone's going to tell you how selfish that is. Everyone's going to tell you that, but who else am I making happy if I'm not making myself happy?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't I be selfish of you to want me to make you happy?
Yeah.
You know, like, then that doesn't make any sense. So yeah be selfish. I think we need to be more selfish.
And I really don't even think that is selfish. And I also think selfish is such an odd concept.
It is.
Because it's not your responsibility to make other people feel happy in their own skin and what's happening around them. It's not. And I think a lot more people need to recognize that.
I heard once that people pleasing is trying to regulate someone else's nervous system.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a lot.
That is. And
it's hard to regulate your own.
Yeah. You can't, someone suggested once, like, how hard is it for you to change your own habits? Now, if it's that hard for you to change your own habits, it's impossible for you to change someone else's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like not even possible. So you just have to focus on yourself. And that is what I think can be hard. I just had a friend recently. She said, you know, everybody keeps telling me that I just need to work on myself and then everyone else will have to work on themselves, you know, but why do I have to be the one that changes? Why do I have to? And it's like, because you have the power to change you. That's
the only power you have.
That's all you get. And boy, oh boy, am I hard-headed. I will say that. Sorry, Mom. Shout out to Mom again. Shout out to Mom every episode. She's cute.
She's sounds precious. Good. That can be a segment. Shout out to Mom.
Shout out to all the moms out there because shit.
It is hard to be a mom.
Yeah.
But it's rewarding.
Yeah,
for sure. And also in the fact of like, my daughter's 3. She'll be 4 in November.
So 3's the best.
But I'm already teaching her how to regulate her own emotions because I was never taught that.
Yeah.
And
but rightfully because your parents probably didn't.
Yeah, and they didn't know. Yeah. They didn't know.
Oh,
and I'm not gonna give them it's okay. I'm not gonna like dog on them or anything because they just didn't know how to do that. And I wouldn't have known how to do it if I didn't research, you know, and I didn't put in the work.
Yeah. They didn't have the internet.
They didn't.
They had dictionaries.
Yeah. That's it.
That's a lot of words.
Yeah. And
you gotta know the words to get the words.
Like,
anyway.
I think it's incredible how much a kid can learn.
They're so smart. They're like little sponges.
Yeah. And she can count to 15 in English, which I think is incredible for being 3.
So cute. My nephew came out of the womb walking, like, I don't know. Shout out to little River on the dais. He's probably going to be a musician. They're going to be geniuses. Like, it's like a computer. Mm-hmm. Hold on. They said like AI, like the computers learn together. So like if one computer learns, they all learn. Yeah. I just feel like these generations that are going to come up, they already have this like general base knowledge and they're just so much smarter. I'm scared. I hope that they like me.
Well, I think that they're going to realize how important it is to have empathy. Yeah. And that's such a lot of people don't. Yeah. And that's okay. Like, it's a hard thing to learn, I think, because I think I've always had some empathy, but I think actually putting it into formation has been something that's been kind of a learning curve.
And also understanding that not everyone has that built in.
Yeah.
You know, I've definitely heard that people who are liars, they think you're a liar too, you know, so that can be hard. And I think it can be hard on people who are empaths because we're mirroring a lot, you know, and I just think that people take us wrong. I get taken wrong so often. I just don't even try. Yeah. I don't care. That took 38 years. But I believe I'm here. I believe I don't care.
Mm-hmm. I think that trying to teach our young from from the beginning to if you're feeling frustrated, recognize it and breathe, because that's the only thing that you can control in life. You know?
Mr. Rogers. Dude. We need to create an homage to Mr. Rogers. Like that's what the show should be, is teaching people. Like maybe we should just have 5 minutes where we just freaking breathe. We just meditate. We'll do it sometime. Yeah. I like it.
One of these times. Sounds good.
I like it. It's just like, join us for 25 minutes of us just...
I've actually been really interested in guided meditation, and even I record myself on my phone and I listen to myself because I feel like I don't really have an inner voice. Yeah. And I let myself guide myself. That's so it's really
cool. I've heard of that. I've never tried it. I definitely should. Or like affirmations for yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Coming out of your own friggin' mouth.
Yes. Wait. Okay, I feel like the need to do something right now.
Let's do it.
I feel like we should go back and forth 10 things we're grateful for.
Yeah. I was actually going to mention that in the last episode. There was something you said about just being like, that it made you grateful, like whenever you had came out of that experience. Yeah. And that was something, when I used to do that, purposely I did 10 things I was grateful for and 10 things I was proud of that I could be proud of that day. And I mean, that felt good. Let's just do it. Let's do it rapid fire. Do it. Rapid fire. Okay.
You first.
Okay. Squirrels.
Flags.
Matcha.
Curtains.
Seaweed.
Fish.
Mr. Rogers.
Barney.
Mountains.
Streams.
Hair.
Leaves.
Guitars.
Birds flying in a crowd over your head, like 30,000 of them. What seems like 30,000?
Blue herons.
Cups.
Frozen peas.
Religious art.
Bucky's.
Cast iron pans.
Yeah. It's because she saw the clock.
It's the coolest cast iron clock I've ever seen in my life.
It's a cast iron pan that just is like on the back of it is just a clock. It had to come home with us. I think it was $2. We're pretty good at finding useless. No. It's beautiful.
It's not useless. It's for your own happiness.
And I love reuse like old things. I just love it. Okay, this is something right here. I've got my book in front of me. I call it my daily devotional, and it's just got like all kinds of things in it. And we're about to run out of time, but we're going to talk about this next time because I clean up the literal streets. I think about this all the time. I have these grabbers, and like plastic bags that you get at the grocery. I don't like to use those, but somehow we end up with them. Yeah. And I literally want to clean up the streets. I think, anytime I've done it, like one day I was walking with my sister in Louisville and we were cleaning up the streets and there were people walking and they would be like, thank you, cause it's their neighborhood. Yeah. And they were just so grateful. And I was like, this is like, I think I want to be the trash man. Yeah. I want to be the trash guy. Yeah. There's the timer. You want to take us out?
All right. Remember, the world is your oyster, so shuck it.